Structuring a class. And the reason we're doing this is because we've seen how deconstructed the classes can be, and we really want to help you create classes that are going to blow your clients' minds. So this is super important for us, for our students who are going through any Pilates training, and it's also important for us for the existing professionals who have never been taught how to put a class together. And you've got to remember that the client can feel when something is smooth and when something is staccato.
Definitely.
So what I want you to do is, let's start right at the beginning, because I feel like you can't just dive into exercise. I mean, if you're going to go for a run, that's something completely different. But when you're working through a process, there has to be, I always think of public speaking, where you have an introduction to your speech, then you have a body, and then you have a conclusion. So I really want you to try and think of that when you are creating a program for somebody to move. I think Carly's will agree with me. She's been looking at quite a couple of classes that we've been assessing, and we can just see that we really need to emphasize this.
Definitely. I mean, I didn't have that much help when I started out, and I would really love to give this help to other people.
Yeah, absolutely. So the first thing we're going to start with is we have to get them focused and centered and quiet. Agreed. So I'm not going to do a full class. I'm just going to talk you through how to get this done. You can choose a theme for your class, or you can choose, when you're starting to teach, I would recommend doing a full body program. And then when you get used to creating flow in the class, you can then dive in and say, we're focusing on upper body today, we're focusing on shoulders today, we're focusing on legs today. But in the beginning, you've got a list of exercises. If you've done the course with us, we've given you a list of a basic, intermediate, and advanced Pilates mat class. Just go according to that list, because that list allows flow of one exercise into the next, into the next. So we've given you that list for a specific reason. And we don't want you to be stuck with deconstructed classes that feel completely odd, okay? We really want you to create a class where the client is like, that was such an amazing experience and I have no idea why, and then all of a sudden you're like, it's because it had flow. It's because it was just, there was a theme and it was flowing, and I didn't have you up and down and left and right and doing strange things in the beginning of a class. So we really want you to create that, this one, then that one, then this one, then that one. And that normally comes in when you start doing this exercise yourself, when you start training, and as you're lying there, you're like, oh, I'd love to do this now. This will flow nicely into that, and my legs are up, what can I do now? My legs are up, let me go into single leg stretch. My legs are still up, let me go into double leg stretch, and so on and so on. Alright, so we always start by either doing a standing roll down, bringing it all the way up, or doing a side stretch and bringing it up, or doing breathing, or lying supine and doing breathing, but nothing hectic, just a gentle focus of the body. So for example, breathing, taking a deep inhale and a relaxed exhale without thinking of activating anything, just keeping it smooth and getting them still. And then a deep inhale, just bringing the focus to their body, and a gentle exhale. One more deep inhale, and just a relaxed exhale. And then from there, you can go into a gentle core contraction, just centering the body, feeling the activation in the torso, just to waken everything up. The next best thing is getting them to articulate their spine. So now we want to get the spine moving so that it is warmed up, because we know that people's spines are taking strain. So let's warm it up. So you can then go into a pelvic curl, pulling the pelvis through, rolling all the way up. You can keep going for me, Kylie. And then rolling all the way down. And I just want them to get everything activating, because here we're articulating, we're working hip extensors, we're stretching the hips, and I'm keeping this top part completely relaxed. Now I'm in the pelvic curl, so now I can zhuzh it up and I can say, great. Now when we're in the pelvic curl, we're gonna hold it. We're gonna do little pulses up with the pelvis, just increasing that activation in the hip extensors. And then keeping that, and then gently curving back down. So I am on my back, right? So then we can do a single leg lift if you're doing that type of class, and placing it down. And same leg for me, lifting it up. You're there, extended to 45 degrees, bringing it in. I'm not doing the right amount of reps, I'm just saying. And reaching it in. Bring it back, hold. You're there. Keep that, hands behind your head. Inhale. Exhale, chest lift up, hold. Inhale, lower it down, keeping that leg there. Exhale, chest lift up, hold. And inhale, lower. So I am there already. I've got this leg up, lower it down. Come up, straighten this leg up. So I'm keeping that flow, bringing it in and lower. And exhale, bringing it up, fully extended knee. And lower. Keep this knee bent. Come up, rotate to this knee. 1. Controlling it down. So you can see I'm keeping the flow of the class. It's like the one exercise melts into the next, melts into the next. Lower it down, hold, stay there. Exhale, change legs for me. 1, we change it over. 2, flattening the abdominals. 3, there we go, tummy hold on. 4, I'm going to stop her on this side, hold, because now I've got that leg. Exhale, chest look up, keeping the leg bent first. 1, and lowering it down. So I'm structuring it, I'm looking at her moving, and I'm thinking, what would be the most natural, easy flowing thing to do next? And lower down, straighten the leg out, reach, controlling it, and extending it out, reach, control it and keep it, rotate over to it. So you can see I'm with her the whole time. And even if I'm teaching online, I actually think we should do a demo like that as well, which we will do. And last one, hold and lower everything back down. Right, so that's just keeping the flow. She's got her hands behind her head. You're going to say lift your right leg up to 90. Abdominals, hold left leg up to 90. Exhale up into your chest, lift these hands on your knees. So now I'm into abdominals, single leg stretch. We reach it away. 1, extending 2, and reaching 3, and 4. We'll just do 6, and 5. Hands behind the head, and 1. Pulling up, 2, and 3, and 4. Drawing a deep 5. Last one, 6, bring both legs in. Come up a little bit higher. Keep the legs down, lower the chest down. Reach your arms straight into the ceiling. So I'm like, woohoo, we're in the next position. Inhale into your chest lift. Exhale, rolling up, keeping bent legs for me, please. Hold. So there I've got that. Inhale. Exhale, curving it down, keeping the legs bent. Control and bringing arms up. So you can either take them all the way down or bring them straight up here. I'm just looking at the space that we have. Inhale into the chest lift. Exhale, curving it all the way up. Hold. Inhale. Exhale, tucking it through. Super tuck. Resist gravity. Arms straight up. And inhale into the chest lift. Exhale, curving it up. We're going to keep it here. We float the arms up because she's up. 1, and bringing it down. Lifting 2. So I'm keeping that flow throughout. It's a full body workout, but I'm getting everything working. Hold. Reach the arms forward. Place the legs down for me, please. Okay, so now we've got the legs down. I'm going to ask you to straighten her legs up. Sit up tall in the back because I'm already here. Inhale. Exhale, curve all the way down. So I'm keeping that flow. Arms straight up to the ceiling just because she can't go above her head. Inhale into the chest lift. Exhale, curving up because I am here and I'm reaching up in the back. So now I'm doing roll-ups and then we are here. Place your hands behind your head. Double exhale, rotating the spine. 1, and center. And over 2, that obviously holds back. And over 3, and center, and over 4. What could we do after this? Hold that, reach your arms behind you 45 degrees. We're going to back support. Exhale, hinging it up. 1, controlling it down. Exhale, pressing it up. 2, and gently lower. And press it up. Hold it for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Controlling it down. What can we do after this? So you're going to sit up straight, hands behind your head. Slide your right knee in for me, please. Exhale, we lift that left leg. 1. So I'm thinking about what would work best after that exercise. Lift 2 and lower. Last 1 and 3. Control down. Switch over to the other leg. Pulling that leg in, we lift 1 and lower. Lifting 2. Maintaining lumbar. Last 1, 3. Place it down. Straight legs. Reach your arms in front of you. Exhale, curving down through your spine, and I want you to go and lie on your side for me, please. So now I've got her on her side. Now in this position, so I'm keeping the flow, we're bending the bottom leg. Top leg is straight. There we go. And we're just going to do our glutes. So we're lifting up and down, keeping the bottom side lifted. And I'm just showing you how to structure that class to keep that flow. So she is over here. She's already in the sideline position. What could I do next? Well, if she's in the sideline position and I want to use any small equipment, I could say, great, we finished the set. Place this leg down. You're going to place the top leg on top of the foam roller because we are here, so we're doing everything on the side. And then we lift the bottom leg up and this oblique is off the mat and place it down. And lifting it up and placing it down. So there I'm working the bottom leg's adductors. So I am on the side, so you've got to remember the sequence. Lift it up, lower it down. We take this out. Up on your elbow for me, please. Legs crossed over each other. There we go, slightly bent knees. Reaching this arm up to the ceiling. Exhale, lifting it up into that diagonal line and then lowering it down because I'm still on the side. Exhale, reaching it up out of that shoulder and controlling it down. And last one, reaching up. What do I want to do next? Let's go up and over, cover you with that arm. Reach, reach, reach. Get a beautiful stretch over there. Hold it for 5. Let's hip forward. 4, 3, 2, 1. Bring it back to the side and lower it down onto your hands and knees for me, please. So now we go hands and knees. And then we flip over to the other side. Lifting out of the shoulders, curving the spine through, curving the toes under. Hover those knees off. 1, control them back down. And lift up. 2, and lower. Keep that deep curve. And lifting. 3, and lower. Last 1, 4, keep it for 5, 4. I am here. 2, 1, take your pelvis up to the ceiling, please. Reaching it up, hold it. And then bend the knees and curve the spine down. And then reach it up to chin in slightly. I'm going to ask you to lift your thoracic spine a little bit and extend lumbar. Yes, with the ribs in slightly. Yes, there we go. And then curving it back down. And then 1 more, hinging it up and hold. And then curving it down. I am here. Place the knees all the way down. Extend the right leg back, curling the toes under on the mat. Left leg back. We hold that. There's our front support. We're going to lower this slightly. Extend thoracic for 10. Take it lower. 9. There we go. 8. Lifting here. 7. 6. So I am in this position. So now I can flip her over to do the other side if I don't mind her back facing me. Or I can ask her to flip all the way over to the other side. So on your side facing me, please. And then we go back to the wall glutes, where we're lifting it up, alright? Then we're switching over to this one, where the leg is on top, and she's lifting that bottom leg up, alright? Then switching over to on her elbow, crossing the top leg over, reaching it up, and then lowering it down, remembering that at the end we have that beautiful stretch going all the way over. Then bringing it back, lower down. Perfect position to lie flat on her tummy. Yeah, so we create that flow in the class, and now we're here. And And now we can go into back extension. Now we can press up onto the hands if you want to. Now you can do hip extension by hovering both legs up off of the mat if you wanted to. You can do your swimming exercise here. You can do any of those where you're actually supine. And then from there, easy to flip over onto your back for me, please. And then to do a hamstring stretch, they can have the band and they're pulling their leg. So the leg is up, this one is down. Remembering what we're looking at, we're trying to maintain neutral to pull ischial tuberosity and back of the knee away. But we're doing a nice hamstring stretch, going into a glute stretch if you want to. Maybe doing a little bit of spinal rotation where she's got bent legs. That's it. Taking it over to the one side and bringing it back to the center and then switching over to the other leg, rotating over towards me, bringing it back to the center, lowering the legs down. Now this part is important because you don't want somebody to train and then be done. You want to train, so you want to relax and ease into it, then you want to work, and then you have to bring your body to that stillness again so that you can lower the heart rate or slow it down, slow the breathing down, and allow that oxygen to flow through your body and everything to rest again. Really important and good for recovery. So here, you can either do a rest position or the child's pose. You can do a relaxation where they're lying supine, which we always do, especially when we're teaching online. And if we're hands-on, we're giving them a nice massage on their back if you're allowed to. But I like to end it off where they just go, it was so good, but I'm so glad it's over. That's really what you want. So in this position, I'll say to them, relaxing the hips completely, allowing the legs to flop open. Shoulders are just draping to the floor. Don't think of pushing them down to your hips. Don't think of anything. The only thing I do want is chin to pull in slightly. And then take a really deep inhale, expanding the rib cage. And then exhale, gently blowing it all out. And I always say, one of them. So I can see those ribs press those lungs. And a deep inhale. And exhale, gently blowing it all out and allowing everything to relax. If their fingertips are straight, you know they're not relaxed. And your voice changes. Last one, deep inhale. And exhale, gently blowing it all out. And relax. So there's got to be a little bit of structure to it so that it feels like there's this flow and they're like, oh my word, my instructor is amazing. Like it just feels like full bodied. I think of a full bodied red wine. That's exactly what your class should feel like. Agreed?
Agreed.
Yeah. And you know, one of the number one things when I get feedback from any clients is when they've experienced no flow and they then experience flow, it's really tough for them to go back to no flow. They really love that structure and that focus. Even if I was focusing on shoulders, there would be a spinal warm-up. There would be a little bit of chest lifts, maybe a bit of thoracic extension, and then we would go into our shoulder work. But even the shoulder work would flow from one into the next, whether it would be any hanging arms with the TheraBand, and then into this, and maybe into that, onto the hands and knees, moving back and forward, floating the arms up. I would still try and utilize the body position that they're in to the best of their ability and target everything that I want to target at that point.
Agreed.
Mm-hmm. Agreed. It's as simple as that. And what's nice is Cardi will tell you that she works really hard, even though that was like, what, 15 minutes?
Yeah.
Because there's that flow
and there's stuff. You just carry on.
And you target different areas, so it's not like I'm nailing your abdominals for an hour. I'm doing abs and it's getting intense. Ooh, and then we're going to go over and we're going to do hip flexors. Ooh, and then we're going to go over and we're going to do glutes. So it kind of gets that full body and it gets it targeted and working really well. Alignment, voice, blah, blah, all of that.
While improving your aerobic ability as well a bit, because you're continuously working, you're not stopping to rest and breathe.
Yes.
You have to breathe throughout your exercises, and that really improves your lungs capacity and ability.
Yeah, and I think it makes you have better endurance in a class. And when I say endurance, I'm talking full body endurance.
Yes.
And when you walk out, you're going to feel like everything's worked. And that's specifically with a full body class, which is really, really important, I would say, for exam purposes. If you want to submit a video of exams that you're doing for us, try and choose exercises that you know shows us what you're capable of in teaching. Don't take the most complicated ones, because that could just be very daunting for you. Unless you're super comfortable with it, then please go ahead, because you do like to see them. When you're doing anything for an exam purpose, try and stick to the original repertoire so you can ace it. And then if you're doing the pelvic curl and you're teaching it like a champion, then stick their legs into a magic circle for your exam. I don't mind, because it also shows us that you're being a little bit ingenuitive, but don't break away from the basic work first and the foundational work. I hope that helps. Take care.